Alright, welcome to the next lesson, and we're going to do some more worded problems. I know, the past two lessons we've been doing worded problems, but we're going to get a lot of practice at this, guys, because a lot of methods, like about 70% of it, is going to be, the hard questions are going to be worded problems. So let's get straight into it. Okay, so it's two lines. Again, I'm going to do the same method. I'm going to underline every question, all the important information. So two lines, y is equal to x plus c, y is equal to mx minus 4, intersect at the coordinate negative 2 and 7. Find the values of c and m. Okay. So basically what this is saying, the intersect means they cross each other. At which coordinate? Negative 2 and 7. So pretty much what that means is they both go through negative 2 and 7, right? So this question is fairly simple. All you have to do is sub negative 2 and 7. So pretty much this is a x value and this is a y value. Sub both of them into the equations and solve. Let's do it. So x is negative, y is 7, so we'll sub it into equation number 1. Let's say this is 1. So 7 is equal to, x is negative 2 plus c, so c is equal to 9. Fairly simple. And then we'll do the same thing for number 2. So 7 is equal to m multiplied by negative 2 minus 4, so I'm just subbing the coordinate in. So 7 plus 4 is 11, so let's take 4 to the other side. So 11 is equal to negative 2m, m is equal to 11 on negative 2. So you can just write that as m is equal to negative 11 over 2 if you wanted. Alright, so let's keep going. So a similar question. So this time the lines m plus 7x minus y and mx plus 2y equals k intersect at 3 and 10. Why don't you guys pause the video and have a go, because it's very similar to what we did before. It's a bit different, it gets a bit harder, so let's do it. So again, same thing, they intersect in 3 and 10, that means they cross at 3 and 10. That means they both go through this coordinate, 3 and 10. So in other words, x is 3 and y is 10. Alright, so let's sub both of them into the equation. So equation 1, I'll sub x in. So you have m plus 7, excuse me, m plus 7 is times 3 minus 10 is equal to negative 1. That's equation number 1. I'm actually going to simplify this as much as I can. So I'm going to take 10 to the other side by adding. So I have m plus 7 times 3 is equal to 9. So negative 1 plus 10. And then I'm going to expand the brackets. 3m plus 21 equals 9. So we can actually solve this, guys. So 3m is equal to 9 minus 21, pretty much. So 3m is equal to 12. M is equal to 12 divided by 3, which is 4. Alright, so that's m done. So now we need to find the equation of the second equation, the k value, which is in this equation here. So let's sub the coordinate in. So m multiplied by x is 3, plus 2 multiplied by y is 10 is equal to k. So 3m plus 20 is equal to k. That's equation number 2. So what do you guys notice though? We already had the value of m. We found in the previous question, our previous equation. So m is equal to 4, right? We already know that. So let's sub m equals 4 into here. 3 multiplied by 4 plus 20 is equal to k. So 12 plus 20 is k. So k is equal to 32. That's it. Simple as that. So again, same thing what we did question 1, just a few extra steps. Alright, let's go on. Again, I promised you worded problems. This is a massive worded problem. So why don't you guys pause the video and have a go. Let's see. There's two competing taxi firms, firm A and firm B. So taxi, alright. Firm A charges an initial fare of $8 and an additional fare of 20 cents for every minute in the taxi, okay. Firm B charges an initial fare of $11 and an additional fare of 10 cents every minute. Sure. So find the cost in dollars for each firm in terms of t minutes. Alright, let's do it. So cost for firm A, so let's say C of A, just this shorthand notation, you don't have to write it. You can say C1 or anything you want. So firm A is going to be initial fare of $8. So $8, that's the initial fare, plus 20 cents. So 20 cents in dollars, remember, this is C dollars. So 20 cents in dollars is 0.2 for every minute. So times by T. Simple as that. Okay. C of B is very similar. So initial fare of $11 plus 10 cents is 0.1 times by T. And that's both rules done. Okay, the time taken for a particular ride is 20 minutes. Find the cost of fare for both firms. Let's do it. So time taken is 20 minutes. So T is equal to, so time is measured in minutes, so T is equal to 20. Okay, T is equal to 20. let's sub it into C of A. So firm A costs, let's find out how much firm A costs. So plus 0.2 times 20. So that's 8 plus, it's going to be 4. Because you can do pretty much how you guys, I'll give you a quick reminder. You do 20 times 2 is going to be 40. But there's one decimal place overall. So you put one decimal place, which is 4. So firm A charges $12 for the 20-minute trip. Firm B is $11 plus 0.1 times by 20 again. So it's going to be 11 plus, use similar logic, it's going to be 2. So 11 plus 2 is $13. So which firm would you guys pick for this tip? Well, obviously you pick firm A because it's cheaper. And that's the answer to part B. Alright, part C. So sketch the both cost, I think I messed up the question when I made this. Sketch both cost rules of each firm on the same axis. Pretty much sketch both the graphs, okay? So we need to sketch C of A is equal to 8 plus 0.2t, and C of B is equal to 11 plus 0.1t. We need to sketch both of these on the same axis. If you want, I'm not going to do it, but if you want, you can make change the variables to y and x if you're more comfortable. So for example, I would do y is equal to 8 plus 0.2x. Okay, I think you're more familiar with sketching that. But we need to start getting used to, at this point, we need to start getting used to sketching with other variables than just y and x. So we're going to do it. I'm going to use these two. Okay, so firstly, let's draw up our axes. Y. So what's on the vertical axis, guys, this time? Okay, it's not y. If you answered y, that's wrong. On my vertical axis, what's my y variable? It's actually cost, right? So my vertical axis, that would be C for cost in dollars. Okay, likewise, what's on my horizontal axis? Horizontal axis is T time in minutes. Okay, remember we're getting used to using different axes now. So let's do the same thing. Okay, let's calculate the x and y intercept, or in this case, T and C intercepts. So let's do for C of A. The first firm A cost, so x intercept is going to be, you make not y0, you make C of A equals 0. So 0 is equal to 8 plus 0.2t. So negative 8 is equal to 0.2t. T is going to be negative 8 divided by 0.2. Now you probably don't know how to do decimals at the bottom. Well, if I just times top and bottom by 10 over 10, so I'm just multiplying by 10 both, it's going to be negative 80 over 2. So that's how you take care of decimals and fractions. So it's going to be negative 40. All right, that's x-intercept. X-intercept is negative 40. Let's say it's roughly over here. Y-intercept is pretty simple. Guys, it's in mx plus c form, but if you can't see that, I'll actually do it because, you know, it's a bit, you can't really, it's not intuitive. So let's do the y-intercept. Now, I shouldn't be calling this x and y-intercept, should I? I should be calling this, instead, I should be calling it t-intercept. And I should be calling the y-intercept pretty much c-intercept. Remember, because the axes are changed. So what's the rule for the c-intercept? You make t is equal to 0. So the cost of firm A is going to be 8 plus 0.2 multiplied by 0. So what are you left with? Cost is going to be 8. So the coordinates are 0 and 8. So 0, 8 is going to be roughly over here. And as usual, connect the dots. Boom, boom. Okay, let's do the same thing for firm B. So you need to find the t-intercept for firm B. It's going to be cost of B is equal to 0. So 0 is equal to 11 plus 0.1 times time. So negative 11 is equal to 0.1t. Negative 11 divided by 0.1 is t. So we'll do the same thing, times top and bottom by 10. So you're going to have negative 110 over 10. That's pretty much negative... sorry, negative 110 over 1, not 10, because 0.1 times 10 is 1. So it's t, so pretty much t is equal to negative 110. So it's going to be, for example, negative, so this one was negative 45, or negative 40, so negative 110 will be all the way here. And the y-intercept is a bit higher, so it's going to be higher than 8, it'll be kind of roughly there. So kind of like that, roughly. All right. So again, guys, if you kind of run into the same problem, right? What are my y values? My y values are costs. So for example, if this is 50, for example, that means cost y value, that means cost is 50, right? So can I have a negative y value? Can I have anything below? No. So I'm going to get rid of every part of my graph that's below the x-axis. I'm going to do get rid of anything below the horizontal axis. And likewise, my x values represent time. So again, same thing. If t is equal to, let's say, 20 minutes, right, like we did before, you can see, that means time is 40. So that means x value, sorry, I kind of messed that up. If your x value is 20, that means your time is 20 minutes. So it can have a negative x value? No, I cannot. So that means you need to get rid of everything to the left. So same as what we've done in the previous lesson, previous couple of lessons actually. So let's quickly label a y-intercept. This is 0 and 11. This is 0 and 8. Okay, and I think that's about it, guys. Obviously, as you can see, costs keep increasing as the time goes up, which makes sense for taxis. No one's going to give you a free ride. All right, part D. How long does the taxi have to be such that the cost of the ride is same for both firms? So it's saying the cost for both firms is the exact same thing. Okay, so let's do part D. So cost is going to be same. So let's remind ourselves of the equation. CA was 8 plus 0.2t and cost of firm B was 11 plus 0.1t. So pretty much it's similar to the volume question we did in the previous lesson. I think it was the previous lesson. Pretty much this cost and this cost have to be the same, right? So cost of firm A has to be the same as cost of firm B. So what is cost of firm A? Well, the cost of firm A is this whole thing because of the equal sign. So we say 8 plus 0.2t is equal to 11 plus 0.1t. That's it. So now you start solving. I'm going to take 8 to the right and 0.1t to the left. So you're going to have 0.2t minus 0.1t. So that's this to the left is equal to 11 minus 8. So I took 8 to the right. So 0.2t minus 0.1t is 0.1t is equal to 11 minus 8 is 3. So t is equal to 3 over 0.1. So again, we have a decimal in the fraction, so just times by 10. Pretty much then you just times by, because it's one decimal place, you times by 10. If it's 2, you times by 100 and so on. So this would be equal to 30 over 1. So time is 30 minutes. Okay, so in 30 minutes, both the cab fares will be the same. So in terms of our graph, that would be kind of the intersection point. This point over here where they intersect, that would be 30 minutes. And you can see the cost. So the y value at that point is the same. So 30, and once you sub 30 into the equation to find the y value, I think it would be, I'll just do quickly, is 14. So $14 would be for the both. Okay, so I hope you understand that one. Let's move on to the next graph. All right, let's go to the next question. Again, I'm going to underline all the important information. So 3 people are participating in a 2-kilometer handicap race. All right. Person A sets off at a speed of 6 kilometers per hour. Person B sets off 4 minutes later. Okay, so it's a handicap race, so they're setting off like after a certain amount of time. And car C sets off. Oh, it's a car. I think it's meant to be. Oh, these are meant to be people. So it should be person and person. Okay, ignoring that, let's quickly move on. So person B sets off 4 minutes later at a speed of 8 kilometers per hour, and person C sets off at a speed of 3 minutes after car B at 10 kilometers per hour. All right. So how long does each person take to finish the race? All right, let's do it. So person A, okay, so it's 2 kilometers. So remember time. So we know that distance is speed multiplied by time. So time is going to be distance divided by speed. All right. So person A, well, we need the time that he takes. So person A is doing it 2 kilometers. The distance is 2 kilometers. Over his person A's speed is 6 kilometers per hour. So he takes 1/3 hours. So he takes 1/3 hours to finish the race. Person B, so it's the same thing. It's a 2 kilometer race, but person B's speed is 8. So he's going to take a quarter of an hour. Okay. Lastly, person C takes time, say 2 kilometer race over 10 kilometers. So he takes 1/5 of an hour. Okay, this is how long each person takes as soon as they start the race. Okay, sketch the graphs of distance traveled by each person on the same set of axes. Okay, this one's a little bit more complicated, right? Because person B, so on your y-axis is distance, on your x-axis is time. Time is in hours, and distance is in kilometers. So they all get to some 2 kilometer point and then they stop, right? Because that's when the race ends. So when time is equal to 0, that's when person A starts. Okay, so let's do some calculations. Okay, so person A has a speed. Has a speed of 6 kilometers per hour, and he runs distance is 2 kilometers. Okay, and we know that the time that he takes to finish the race we figured it out up here, is 1 over 3, right? So in other words, the coordinates are, if d is equal to 2, because d is, remember, d is a y variable and t's are x variable. So if t's are x variable, it's 1 on 3, comma 2, right? That makes sense. That's kind of our coordinate. So he starts at 0, 0, and he takes a third of an hour. So let's say 1 hour is here. A third of an hour would be roughly here. And so this coordinate over here would be a third, comma 2, and pretty much you connect those lines, right? 1/3 of an hour. Now, person B and C are a bit trickier, right? Because person B is going at 8 kilometers per hour, and he's also traveling 2 kilometers, and it takes him 1/4 of an hour from the previous question to finish the race. So what does that mean? So can we just say it's a quarter and then 2 kilometers? So it would be kind of like here roughly, because it's quicker, 1/4 smaller, so it would kind of just do that. Well, not quite, guys, because this is a handicap race, right? Because remember, person B sets off 4 minutes later, right? 4 minutes later than person B. So he's not starting off when time is equal to 0. So this is time 0. He's starting when time is equal to 4 minutes. A bit after, that's when he's starting, right? So if he's starting 4 minutes after, well, firstly, we need 4 minutes in hours. So 4 minutes to hours, we need to divide by 60. So 4 over 60, which is 1 over... actually 2 over 30, so 1 over 15. Okay, so 1/15 of an hour is pretty much 4 minutes. Okay, so what does that mean? That means, when does he start the race? He starts the race when time is equal to 1 over 1/15, so 4 minutes, and then he's starting. So the distance to the finish line is 0. Okay, so that means the distance from the start, sorry, is 0. Right? When does he finish? He doesn't finish a quarter and 2. He finishes. What time does he finish? Well, he takes a quarter, but he's starting at 1 over 15 kind of hours delayed start. So it's a delayed start plus a quarter. So this is the time that he finishes. So it's going to be, we just need to add these two fractions. So 4 over 60 plus 15 over 60. So I'm just adding fractions. So it's 19 on 60. So that's when he finishes, okay? So pretty much he still finishes. 19 on 50 is less than 1 over 3, if you guys do that math, right? He still finishes pretty quicker than person A. So he overtakes person A. So again, if you don't understand that, so he starts at 1 over 15 and 0, so 4 minutes after person A, and he finishes just before person A at, 19 on 60. So 19 on 60 and 2. Okay, and then you connect those two dots up. Alright, so we're going to do person C. So if you didn't understand that, watch how I do person C and it'll make more sense. So person C, his speed is 10 kilometers per hour. He also travels 2 kilometers, and it takes, for him to travel that 2 kilometers from when he starts, it takes him 1/5 of an hour, right? But again, person C is delayed. He has a delayed start. How long is he delayed? Well, he sets off 3 minutes after car B, which car B sets off 4 minutes after car A, right? So the total time that he's delayed from the very start of the race is a 7-minute delay. Okay, so it's a total of 7-minute delay. In other words, let's convert that to hours by dividing. So it's 7 over 60 hours. It's a bit of a bad number, but 7 over 60 hour delay. Okay, so pretty much 7 over 60 is still going to be more than 1 over 15, because remember, this is 4 minutes. 7 minutes, let's say, is roughly here somewhere, right? So this would be 7 over 60 and 0. So that's where he starts. Now, when does he finish? Well, it starts with a delayed start of 7 over 60, plus it takes him 1/5 of an hour to finish, 1 on 5. So you just need to add those two fractions together. So it's 7 over 60 plus, so what do you have to do to make it 60 base? 60 denominator is multiplied by 12 over 12, so it's 12 over 60. Did I do that right? Yeah, 5 times 12 is 60, yeah. And then, so it's going to be 19 over 60, which you'll notice, right? It's actually the exact same number. So he finishes at the same time as person B. That's interesting. Boom. Exact same time. So they kind of connect those two dots. Yeah, so I'm pretty much connected this 19 on 60 and 2 and 70 and 60 to get the path of person C. Okay, again, I'm just reiterating. There's a 7-minute delay, so 7 over 60 hour delay, right? So he starts off at 7 over 60. And it takes him 1/5 of an hour to finish the race from when he starts. So pretty much you add those two, you get 19 over 60. So he finishes actually at the same time as person B. All right, I hope you got the graphs. Let's keep going. who finishes first? Well, there's actually a two-way tie, isn't it? Well, who finishes first? Person B and person C. Person C, yeah. And who finishes last? Good old person A, who started at the very start. So person A is pretty slow. Feels bad for him. Okay. I think that's it, guys. Alright, yep, that's it. It's done with the questions. I hope you understood. So pretty much worded problems. So make sure you break them down by underlining and draw diagrams wherever you need. That's it. I'll see you soon.